Okay, after the first video, the Tavor, where I did some accuracy testing and I only showed 3 round groups, I had several people ask me if I could do bigger groups, like 10 rounds, to see if we get similar results with the various ammo. So that's what I'm going to do. I did lighten up the trigger substantially, and I'll come back later and talk about how you can do that too. We'll see if it makes a difference with regard to the groups. I bet it will. And so I'm taking 30 shots. I'm going to take my time, and rather than make you sit through a long, boring video, I am going to channel my best Benny Hill and see if we can make this go a little bit faster. So we are starting with the Federal XM193, and we're going to go on from there. Let's see how it goes. I think we got some good results this time, and I think we definitely know what round this gun likes to shoot. Take a look at this. Now, understand, I did this twice. I came up with the same results twice. There are some, I'm going to call them flyers because there's definitely human error. It was me. It was not the gun. It was just very, very, very humid, and I literally had sweat dripping in my eyes. And by the way, lenses loopholed that shouldn't fog up, even fogged up. It was pretty ugly. So I'm going to call. And this, the other time I did this too, I had some flyers as well. So 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I just grabbed this target. I'm going to call this a flyer. With the Remington XM193 55 grain, if I exclude that, we're looking at a 2.54 inch grouping, which is kind of what you expect from that kind of ammo. The Remington 223 69 grain Match King's boat tail hollow point is definitely the one that this gun likes. I'm going to say that that one's a flyer as well. And if I exclude that, we're looking at a 1.67 inch grouping. And to tell you the truth, I think that a lot of this was me, and I think the gun is better than I am. And it probably should do 1 MOA shooting. Now, this particular round, the Black Hills 77 grain, because it's a 1 in 7 twist, I really expected this to be the one that this gun would like to eat. But no, it's not. There were definitely 2 flyers. But if I exclude those, we're looking at 2.66 inch, which is, you know, pretty much the same thing as the Federal. So, and we got these results twice with 10 rounds each, and also in the previous video, pretty much the same thing. The Remington 69 grain Match King is the round, as far as I can tell, for this particular gun. Now, part of the reason I was able to even do this is because I did lighten up the trigger, and there's kind of good news, bad news with that, which I will get into in a sec. But first, let me show you how you can lighten up the trigger. Show you what I did. Remember, it lowered after having 600 rounds if you watch the first video. And there's a way to get that even further. First, we need to remove the trigger pack. I'll show you how to do that. You basically push these 2 pins through. And take the trigger pack out. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a spring on the left side next to the hammer, and that is used to make a more positive reset. You don't have to have that spring in there, and that definitely lightens it up. Let me show you how you remove that. You basically punch out this roll pin. Here you go, and then the spring comes right out. Put the roll pin back in. Put the trigger pack back in. And that should do it. Now, you remember I said that this was 14 pounds of trigger pull out of the box. And then after 600 rounds or so, it went down to, I think it was 10.5 pounds. And let's just take a look at what this does with that spring no longer in there. Seven and 3/4 pounds. So taking that spring out definitely lightens it up. Now remember I said there's good news and bad news. That's the good news. The bad news is that, well, most of the time there is a very positive reset. Remember I said I did this twice. That's 60 rounds. Out of the 60 rounds that I fired 3 times, it did not reset. I'm going to show you right here. Take a look at this. The first shot is normal reset, is very positive. You can hear it. You can feel it. It's tactile. But now look at the second shot and what I had to do to make the trigger reset. Now, you can put that spring right back in. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know how often this is going to happen. 3 times out of 60 to me is unacceptable. Maybe someone will come up with an aftermarket spring that is, I don't know, a little bit lighter than the one that comes from the factory. But you know, if you don't mind it not resetting each and every time, you can take that spring out. And 7.5 pounds is reasonable, especially since, well, this one anyway started at 14 pounds. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave comments below. I will answer them as soon as possible. And as always, happy and effective shooting, everyone.